is the Ladder Hearth Broom. Okay, and so we're going to start out with a broomstick. You want to tap it in. So you see that there is already a hole in it, but that's not the one we want to use. So we're going to do about 4 fingers. And then just tap it in. Remember that you don't want to have it flush all the way in. You do want it up just a little bit. And what that does is that holds the broom corn on. Okay? I'll give it one good tap. There you go. Helps if you hit it. Alright, so what we're going to do next is we want to put our knot on. So you're going to make sure that the nylon is coming off the top of the spindle. And so we want to do a slip knot that slips on the long part. And I already have an overhand knot on this, so I'm going to cut this off and start from the beginning to show you. Okay, so we want an overhand knot on the end. And then we're going to come around 3 fingers. Where it intersects, we're going to hold it, turn it upside down, go through the hoop, and grab that long string. Now I like to work this up because I want it close. Okay, so I'm going to put this, I am right-handed, so I want my broom corn, or my brushy part of my broom towards my left hand or under the table, all right? So I'm going to tighten this up on top of the nail, because the broom's going to be this way and I don't want it to pull off. I got to tighten this back up a little bit, and I'm going to wrap this for about 3, at least 2, cinch it up a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my first layer of broom corn. I've already separated this. So what I want to do is I'm going to do about at least 4, if not more, layers, depending on how big this gets. So I want to bring this down as close to the brushy part as I can get. I think. Yeah, maybe about right there. And I'm just going to let that loosen up over on one side. Bring it around. Then I'm going to take another bunch and I'm going to do the same thing on that side. So that is going to be my center. Okay, and I'm looking right here to make sure that everything's even. And then I'm going to wrap for about, what did I do? 3 in the first one, I think. 3 rows. I've got that table right where it's banging, so I'm going to move that over a little bit. So when you look at this broom, I'm going to do 4, you'll see that's where I started, right? So if you look at this, there's the nice ladder side, and then there is the advanced side. This to me would be the back side, but that's your call. If you like that better for the front of the broom, then go for it, okay? This shows me where I'm starting. So then I'm going to take my next layer. So this builds on the sides. One thing I will tell you is that if you're not careful, and this is my side that I'm going to advance on, I'm leveling this up. If you're not careful, that will move over too far. So be aware that that happens. For that pressure, it'll roll over, and you want it to stay on the sides. Okay? So on this one then, here's my advancing back, right? I'm gonna wrap for about 3, making sure that these are where I want them to be before I tighten this up, because once it's tight, they're not moving. Okay? Show it a little bit better, and I'm gonna wrap this for, I mean, it's your call. 4, 5, make sure it's staying flat when you do it, because as I said, it does have a tendency to roll. So that's 5, I'm good with that. So then I'm going to do my next bunch. Once again, making it level, keeping it on the sides. Oops, sorry, I don't want to do that. When you're adding them, make sure you're doing it on your advanced side. So I'm keeping it on the side where I want it. I'm coming up a little bit on that advance. Making sure it's on the side where I want it to be. Grabbing my next bundle. Okay, so you can see that's getting pretty thick already. So I'm going to do, I don't know, we'll do 6 this time. How's that? Coming up on 2. Making sure it's staying on the sides. It's not rolling too much. It's 3. Coming up on 4. This is 5. Actually, that's 6. So I'm going to do one more layer on the sides. Making sure that I'm staying close here. Doing an advance up. Make sure it's staying where I want it. Grab that last bunch. Put it on the sides. Now, if you want to do more layers than just 4, if you take your broom corn and you divide it into thinner pieces, then you can layer more up. This time, I ended up do about 7 or 8. Making sure it's staying where I want it. Cinching that up. Now, when I put in my jerk string, I don't want to put it underneath all of this. And I do want to come up some more wrapping this. So, good, so I got a join here. So, okay, so what I did with this join, because I didn't do a really good job with it, I just did an overhand knot, but I cut it close, and then what I do is I take a lighter and I singe that so that it's not going anywhere. Now I want that in the back, so hopefully that's going to work out right. I'm going to retighten kind of what I've done here. And that's going to work around the back. So, like I said, once you've got that, you can do an overhand knot, and once you've got it singed, it's not going anywhere. So, and make sure, remember that you don't want it to twist on you. So as I was saying, I need to put a jerk string in here, but I don't want to put it underneath all of that. So I'm going to come up here. I think I did. Back that up. I don't like that. I think what I did on, how am I did on this? Like maybe 10. Show. So I'm going to do the majority of the wrapping here before I put that jerk string in. And then the last 4 wraps, I'll put that jerk string in. Or you could do an advance and do it. Let's try that. The other one I didn't do that, but let's do something a little different. We got room, so I'm going to do an advance up here and just give it a little bit of space. Kind of keeps with that whole ladder theme. One more variation you can do. Just make sure that when you're doing that, you do your advances on the back side. So your ladder's on the front. And we're going to do this for about 6 or 7, and then we'll do another advance. You don't have to do it this way. You can do it, you know, the way that the original broom was. It's just something different because I get tired of doing the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to do one more advance here, and then I'll take a look at it and see if I want to put my jerk string in there. And with that advance, I think I'm going to come back here and do that so it doesn't show in the front. And kind of hold it there until you come around to the other side. tightens that whole broom corn down some. So this last advance and wrap is where I'm going to put my jerk string in, I think. I'm liking the way that looks. I could do, yeah. So this last one, I'm going to put my jerk string in, making sure that I keep it flat. I like to do this on the back, and that's your decision. Is this the front or is the other side the front? To me, this is the back. So I'm going to keep that flat. I'm going to do that other advance. I'm going to come up here and move that advance up just a little bit, I think. Yeah, I still want that up a little bit. Got to kind of hold it and work it around. Okay. Here we go. So I'm going to do this for about 4 or 5 reps. Okay, I'm going to call that good. Come down here and cut this. It works better with a knife. And I'm going to switch it. Make sure you don't have any twists in that. Pull that tail through. Come back over here and jerk it through. Okay, and then I want to tighten this up. Not on the knife part. I should tighten it up on anything, but cut it away from you. Now I want to trim this up, and a PVC cutter will not work on this because I got a broomstick. So this is what I'm going to do. That turned out kind of cool, didn't it? All right, so X-Acto and some pressure where you want it, and it just kind of saws through there. Takes a little longer than the PVC cutter. What I would have done differently, I would have dyed these broomsticks black, and I would have dipped this into black dye, just the bottom part. Wouldn't that have been cool? So, something for next year. So anyways, you can see this is getting trimmed up. I have a little bit more to do, but you get the idea. So now this one I went up farther by doing advances and wraps. The original one I did not. So this is your call. More ladders, less ladders, whatever you want to do. If I was picking, I'd do this one, but you know, it's your choice. So that's the advanced side. That's the straight side. Okay. Here's the advanced side on the back of that one. There you go. So, first one down. Next one is going to be the trifecta. So you can see that there's actually 3 brooms here that are put together. So that's next month's. And it will be thicker than this. So, see you next month.